Hello and welcome to the Atlantic DeFi podcast. I'm Fidel, and today we're sitting at Bitcoin at 87,388. Just to let you know, today is Tuesday, December 16th. The time is 1:26 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. Ethereum is at $2,931. BNB is at $870. Solana is at 127, and XRP is at 192. Now, Stream fear is out, but fear is still in. We are in a bear market. Not yet, but I will see it that way. Bitcoin is struggling to be below 85. Yesterday was around 85,000. Spectre said it might go below that. Again, if it goes below 75,000, treasury firms will have to sell Bitcoin because they buy the Bitcoin with leverage, with loan money. So the threshold in order for them to keep paying that loan and be somehow be able to, to pay and stay stable is if Bitcoin stays at 75 or up. If it goes 75 or down, that's going to be a problem. So we will see within the upcoming months what's going to happen. I think it's going to go a little bit low. I think there's going to be some market manipulation for it to stay a bit above. Again, we'll see what the macroeconomic factors are. As I tell people, these are macroeconomic factors, have nothing to do with your $100, $300, even your $100,000 worth of Bitcoin. It's a little bit out of the park. Now it's owned by treasuries, and a lot of these treasuries are buying the Bitcoin at leverage, and if it goes down, they're going to have to be forced to sell. And if they have to sell, that means that it's going to go down because there's going to be a lot in the market. There's going to be not that many buyers, and the buyers are going to be retail investors like you and me holding the bag. So that's going to be a problem, but let's see what happens. In other news, JP Morgan and Chase, one of the biggest banks in America, just launched a tokenized money fund. They're opening a money market fund called Money to qualified investors. Again, this is not for retail investors. This is not for regular people like you and me. I think it's some kind of experiment for people to buy, certain people to buy and see how that runs. And again, it's on chain, but it's probably on a private chain. It says Ethereum, but you can create a private chain within Ethereum. I don't think it's going to be transferred. You're not going to find this on any exchange. If it's successful, probably they will. And with certain regulations, depending on how the regulations is, if it's successful, or they somehow spin it somehow, some way. But yeah, this is a proof that Ethereum has usability, has a lot of usability. DeFi is Ethereum. There's copycats, but Ethereum has a lot of usability. And I think banks are realizing that, and banks are experimenting with that, especially with the stable coins. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But yeah, it's interesting. It's again, don't get the hype. I know they put it here. This is nothing, because we are not going to be able to touch this, and if we do, it's because it's successful. They already made a bunch of money on it, and they have to sell it to other people to make more money. But again, it's interesting nevertheless. Now, this is a topic that I wanted to talk about. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you will see that I talked about governance tokens and how we should be careful with that. Aave is one of the biggest DeFi lenders. Aave DAO is one of the most respected DeFi lending protocols. But Aave DAO was made by Aave Labs. Aave Labs is the core team that runs Aave. They launch a token, they launch a DAO, they launch everything. They are having issues. The DAO, which is supposed to be the central autonomy, it's having issues with the core team because they did an integration of CowSwap. CowSwap is another exchange, and they took another exchange out that the community says they will lose $10 million annually because of that. They would in annual DAO revenue because of that swap of protocol. Now, this was done without any consultation or anything else. And Aave is one of the biggest ones, and it's one of the most trustful ones. But I gotta tell people, governance tokens, decentralized autonomous organizations, you gotta be really careful when you buy this token. One, because not everybody is committed to this. People just want to get the token up, sell it, get some money, get out. The reality is that this runs supposed to run like a co-op, but the co-ops run different. The co-op, there's no token, there's shares, and you're a shareholder, by having a bank account or having some kind of product there, and the revenue that goes there is split in within the organization. That means you get some interest, you get different things, but you get voting rights on certain things, but the core team of the co-op is the one that handles the day-to-day operations. This is the problem that's happening with Aave. There is a core team that handles daily operation, but they're not part of the DAO. They're a different company, private company, all unto themselves, but they do the infrastructure for the protocol, which the DAO is part of. So when you get a governance token, and you could see that with a lot of things like Atom and different protocols that are supposed to be decentralized, and it's just a clusterfuck. It's just a mess. That you have to be careful when you go with this, because this is not new. This happens in all other protocols, and it has led to the downfall of a lot of good projects. So when you buy a token that says governance, I would be really skeptic, and I would sometimes run away. So again, that's up to you. Go to our Beehive newsletter, is AtlanticDeFi@beehive.com, and follow me on LinkedIn if you want crypto content, or YouTube, and peace out.